today's video, I'll be giving my pick for the most underrated skin in every battle pass from Fortnite's history. And starting off with the current season, I have to go with Poe Dameron. And I can understand the resistance style not being everyone's favorite, but I really love the base pilot look that we got, especially with the helmet on. Now I'm not saying this skin is the best, but he's gonna be my pick for this season. And now for Chapter 6 Season 2, we have Cassidy. And I have to say, I've come to enjoy this skin a lot more than I initially did. And she has some of the best styles in the entire battle pass, especially the last style that you unlock. I will say, I was pretty disappointed that she didn't receive any super styles, but even without them, she's easily my pick for Season 2. And then for Chapter 6 Season 1, we have Jade. Now this battle pass was absolutely stacked, so it's easy to see that a lot of the skins flew under the radar, but the biggest one by far was Jade. Even after I hit tier 100 in Season 1 and unlocking Night Rose, I found myself using Jade a lot, especially the Guardian style, which was my favorite look for the skin. Overall, I just love the colors and the customization that she offered, earning her the spot for Chapter 6 Season 1. And moving on to Chapter 5 Season 4, we have Mysterio. Now heading into our second Marvel season, I was really hoping to see more Spider-Man villains, and Mysterio was actually at the top of my wish list. And lucky for me, Epic Games delivered, and his design in-game was top tier, blending comic accuracy with a unique Fortnite twist. And as an added bonus, his alternate style is just as good as the base look. I get why Mysterio might not be everyone's favorite, but he's definitely my pick for the most underrated skin from Chapter 5 Season 4. And moving on to Wrecked, we have Magneto. Now I know a lot of people write Magneto off because of his base style, and in all honesty, I get it. I'm not a huge fan of it either, but where Magneto really shines for me was the alternate style, which is his classic look from the comic. And this one style alone takes him from one of the weakest in the past, and from a bottom tier Marvel skin to a top 10 for sure, and he's certainly the most underrated from this pass. And next up, we have Artemis from Chapter 5 Season 2. There's just something about her look that really resonates with me, and I really think the Galaxy effect helps take the skin to the next level. And on top of that, she has two fantastic edit styles that really help her stand out, so she earns my pick for Season 2. Closing out Chapter 5, we have Valeria. Now it might feel a little odd to put a tier 100 skin on the list, but I genuinely think that Valeria is massively underrated. And looking at the battle pass, I can understand why some overlook the skin, as she had a lot of competition with skins like Hope, Solid Snake, and of course Peter Griffin. But I just love the way the skin looks, both in her base and alternate styles, and she's by far one of the most underrated tier 100 skins of all time, so she gets the pick for Season 1. And moving on to Chapter 4 Season 4, we have Kato Thorn. Why'd that actually kind of rhyme? Now I'll be honest, I was definitely guilty of underappreciating Kato when he first dropped, but as time's gone on, I've really come around to enjoy the skin. I will say though, I still prefer the human form, no doubt, but the Revenant style has definitely grown on me, which has helped him earn the spot for Last Resort. Moving on to Chapter 4 Season 3, we have Trace. And I will say, I think the Wilds Battle Pass as a whole is extremely underrated, but there's no skin in the past that feels more overlooked than Trace. I love the style that Epic went for with the skin, giving off an explorer vibe, but the big standout for me is the glow effect that he has running throughout the skin and on the jacket. And on top of that, he has some really solid edit styles, and the super styles look absolutely insane on the skin. And moving on to Chapter 4 Season 2, we have Mystica. This is a skin that I see get a lot of mixed reception, and if I'm being completely honest, I don't get the negativity at all. And closing out Chapter 4 with Season 1, we have Celine. There's nothing about her base design that I don't like, as I love the gear that she's rocking. The blue and pink color scheme is super clean, and the tattoos on her arm and legs really complete the look. Though I will admit, I'm not the biggest fan of her moon style, but the base style alone is enough to make her extremely underrated in my opinion. Now heading into Chapter 3 Season 4, we have Paradigm. And I know, there was a lot of pushback with this skin because it was a reskin of an exclusive and because the face model was based on Brie Larson. But in all honesty, I don't get the hate with the skin, and in fact, I think Paradigm is easily the second best skin inside of this pass. I really enjoy the variety in the edit styles, as you get a more relaxed look with no armor and a fully armored redesign that helps her earn the spot for Chapter 3 Season 4. And moving on to Chapter 3 Season 3, we have Snap. I love the idea for him and his base look, but a lot of his parts feel like simple reskins of each other, and that kind of took away from how cool the idea could have been. That being said though, I still really enjoyed Snap, as I had some cool combos with him, and it was a creative concept, earning him the spot for vibin'. And heading on to Chapter 3 Season 2, we have Tizuki 2.0. Now let me be clear here, I'm mostly talking about the Iridium style, not the default look, as the hair on the base version really throws the whole thing off. But thankfully, Epic gave her an alternate alternate style with a much better hairstyle, and I actually prefer the outfit design on this one as well. On top of that, her dazzling style is amazing, and this is a skin that I still run to this day, so it definitely earns a spot for Chapter 3 Season 2. And closing out Chapter 3 with Season 1, we have Ronin. Now, it was pretty easy to get caught up in the hype around the Foundation and Spider-Man from this battle pass. I personally think that Ronin gives both of these skins a run for their money, and yet I barely see anyone wearing him or even talking about the skin anymore. Now, if you enjoy some of these underrated skins, make sure you smash that sub button, as YouTube is telling me that less than 5% of you watching are currently subbed to the channel. Also, be sure you like the video, because if we receive 500 likes on today's video, I'll make a video on the best skin from every season. And moving on to Chapter 2 Season 8, we have Tauren. Now, one of the main complaints that I kept seeing was that you can't remove her cape on either style, and yeah, I'll definitely admit, it would have been nice to have that as an option, but in all honesty, it doesn't take anything away from the skin for me. And considering how good both of her styles are with the base look and Sideways Warrior, I think Tauren definitely deserves the pick for the most underrated skin from Chapter 2 Season 8. And heading down to Season 7, we have Chimera. And this is probably the most disliked skin from this battle pass, so maybe I'm weird, but I really love the idea and the execution of the skin. And moving on to Primal, my pick is going to be Cluck. Now, before you get your guns out, I'm not a huge fan of this pass overall, outside of Lara Croft and Agent Jones, but one skin I can't bring myself to hate is Cluck, so he's going to be my pick for Chapter 2 Season 6. And heading down to Season 5, we have Maeve. Her design is unique, her styles are solid, and I think the tail reactivity that she has is really dope. And moving on to Chapter 2 Season 4, we have Storm. And I get it, the Nexus War Battle Pass was an absolute banger, but I can't believe a lot of players overlooked this skin. Her default look is already amazing with that clean white and gold color scheme, and the Punk Storm style is easily one of the coolest styles that we've ever received for any Marvel character in the game. And like I said, this Battle Pass was absolutely stacked with fan favorites like Iron Man, so someone had to fall under the radar, but the fact that it ended up being Storm still surprises me, so she's my pick for the most underrated skin from this pass. And moving on to Chapter 2 Season 3, we have Scuba Jones. Okay, this one might be a little biased, but I just love the Jonesy reskins, and I love summer skins, so Scuba Jones was a perfect match for a player like me. I thought his overall look and all of his styles were pretty solid, with the tactical version easily being my favorite. And sure, the skin's nothing flashy, but sometimes simplicity really works, and it definitely worked with me for Scuba Jones, so he's my pick for Chapter 2 Season 3. And moving down to Chapter 2 Season 2, we have Maya. And I'll be honest, I was surprised to see how many people don't like the skin, but I will admit, it would have been even better if, like Chimera, you could make multiple presets or edit the skin whenever you wanted. But even with the limitations, I think Maya was a great skin, so she's my pick for Chapter 2 Season 2. And closing out Chapter 2, we have Remedy. And at first glance, she might come off a bit generic, but generic doesn't always mean bad. And while the base look is super clean, the Toxic variant is just as cool, as I really love that black and green color combo that we receive. And moving on to Season X, my pick is Eternal Voyager. Now, without a doubt, for most people, the three big heavy hitters from this pass were X-Lord, Catalyst, and of course, Ultima Knight. And while I love all three of those, I genuinely think that Eternal Voyager is definitely just as good. From the styles revealing the helmet and the skull, to the amazing alternate color schemes, I just love everything about the skin, and he's definitely my pick for Season X. And moving on to Season 9, we have Singularity. And I'll be transparent, I'm not a huge fan of this battle pass overall. I think most of the skins are pretty fairly rated by the community. But if I had to go with one skin that deserves a little bit more credit, it would definitely be Singularity. And moving on to Season 8, we have Blackheart. And for most players, the big highlight of the Season 8 pass was Pilly. But Blackheart is a skin that I rarely see mentioned anymore, which is honestly crazy to me because he's a skin that can easily be tier 100 even in 2025. And in all honesty, I'm still pretty surprised that he wasn't the tier 100 in 2019. And moving on to Season 7, we have Trog. And you guys probably think I'm trolling, but I'm 100% being honest. The Yeti aesthetic fits perfectly with the winter theme, and I've always loved the design that he has, even if he's a little goofy. But moving on to Season 6, we have Fable. I really loved everything about this design, from the red and black color scheme to the little details on the skin. I do wish she had an alternate style or two, but considering how early in Fortnite's life cycle this was, I can't really hold that against her, and she's definitely my pick for the most underrated skin from Chapter 1, Season 6. And heading on to Season 5, we have Redline. In a battle pass that starts off with Drift, I totally get why Redline flies under the radar, but where the skin catches my attention is with the simplicity of her design. The black and red color scheme is clean, the biker theme is sharp, and she has a great look that really works, so she's my pick for Season 5. And moving on to Season 4, we have Technique. And similar to others on the list, I don't think Technique is underrated because people hate her. It's more that she just gets overshadowed by the rest of the skins in the pass. And with big names like Carbide, Omega, and the Visitor, visitor, it's easy to forget about her, but I think Techniques still deserves her flowers, as the graffiti artist concept was super creative, and I really enjoy the little details on the skin, making her my pick for Season 4. And heading into Season 3, we have Rustlord. I've always really enjoyed the worn down, rugged aesthetic that he has, and that orange and teal color scheme really works for me as well. And closing out our list for Chapter 1 Season 2, we have Blue Squire. And while he might not steal the spotlight for everybody, Blue Squire is still a great skin that's underrated, and he's my pick for Season 2. So be sure you let me know down in the comments below which Battle Pass skin you think is the most underrated. But until next time guys, as always, take care and stay twisty.